Hey everybody, this is Grace, and I'm on the way to check out the nature preserve. I've been there plenty of times, so it's not really that kind of checking it out. I just want to see how busy it is, given us the pandemic, and today's June 4th, 2020, and just going to check it out and see how crowded it is, see what the traffic is going to be like. It's been almost 3 months, well, since March 9th, I think was, since I've been stay at home, and I've only been out, this would be my 4th time. One of those was to get gas, and two of the other times was to drive my SUV around the block and all. I started up, but still needs to be driven around. It's new, bought it May of last year, and I just don't want it to get, just sit around and not be driven. But this is kind of a little bit of traffic here in Texas. And by the way, my pardon the way I'm doing this, but yeah, it's here in north of Dallas. It's my SUV says it's 96 degrees. Before I left, I checked the temperature. It said it was 95, but it feels like 98. Yeah, it's pretty hot. It's about time, really. It was such a our weather was so cool in May. It was unusual. But I've rambled on a little bit. The reason for it is I had tried to get some prescriptions renewed, and they weren't going to renew them, but they weren't calling me. And so I called to find out, and, from my doctor's office, and she told me I would need an appointment to do, over the phone consultation. Okay. And I had called twice before, and they never gave me an answer and all this stuff. So I went ahead, and she said, "Can you do it today?" I said, "Sure thing." And they're not having anybody come to to their office and all that since it's COVID-19. And so the doctor's office called me. Now, I've had troubles with this doctor's office. I'm going to park right here. Because I am a homemaker and I don't have health insurance. I live in Texas, and there was a whole thing with all that. I want to get the health insurance because really it might not pay off, but the older I get, my birthday's coming really soon, and I feel like I need to get it. Right now there's, from what I've heard, you can get it and all this kind of stuff, but it was supposed to be expensive, and plus the doctor I wanted to go to, one of my old doctors, she had said something about the one that they had, they don't take. Whatever, okay. But now if I got it now, the problem is I would have to go to a new doctor, and I would have to actually be seen by that new doctor and have all those tests and all that. And right now, would I really want to, especially since Texas, our numbers are going up and up and up and up, okay, for this COVID-19. So this is a lot to unpack in one video here. But I've been going to this doctor off and on for about 8 years now, and seen a lot of people there working there, like a revolving door job, and it's for people who don't have the health insurance, and it's one of. And the way I've been treated there has been so poor, so bad. It's kind of like they wait to right at the end of when they do the office visit, the doctor or the registered nurse, the full-time ones, they wait till right to the end of it, the visit, and they insult. And it's like they get a thrill out of insulting every time. I can't remember when they haven't done that. So I've felt quite a bit like I'm stuck with them. Now, I really appreciate all that the doctors or nurses are doing right now because of this COVID-19. I have another video I wanted to put up, and I said, no, this isn't the right time, but I am trying to keep a little record of what's going on with me. So now I can get back. I think I've said enough background, have I? So I can get back to what happened today. Okay, I probably should have said, pardon the sound of the air conditioner, but I did say that it's 95 degrees, so what do you think? I'm not going to have the air conditioner on and enough to cool me down too. So anyway, to get back to the story, the doctor has wanted me to this doctor's office. Actually, I have to go back some backstory still. The reason I went to this doctor in the first place was because I'm talking what did I say, 7.5 years ago? Yeah, something like that. Was because I had developed this weird thing on my skin. I had seen so many doctors, been to the ERs, because it just seemed like it was growing. And long story short is I figured it out. And but I went to this one doctor and they couldn't figure it out. He also had somebody else in there and he couldn't figure it out. But I did eventually, 2.5 years later. Yeah, it was that I was allergic to one of my medications for diabetes. Okay, so that's way back then. Flash forward to now. They've been wanting me to get on insulin. And I have resisted getting on insulin. I tell them multiple times I have what is it called? I have an adrenal disorder, and I am so highly sensitive to medications. It's unbelievable. And I'm a tall woman, strong build. They always want to put me on the biggest pills possible, it seems like. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating a little, but usually whatever they put me on is too much. I have to cut it in half some of them that you can. It's just unbelievable, and this is my life. Like I said, today I'm 56, but pretty soon I'll be 57. So, I know what goes on with my body. I'm not a doctor. I don't know better than they, but they need to listen. And they don't want it. It's like they don't want to hear this about the adrenal disorder. They won't even get the report that I had from it. From the time that I started seeing them. Okay, they just, I don't know. They want to say the same thing over and over again, and it's just maddening. Okay, but in order to get my medications, the ones I already take, I have to listen to them say the same things over and over, even though I've told them over and over, and they should have been writing notes and reading them. They don't listen still. Even within that conversation, they will change it to as if I don't have that adrenal disorder. Okay, they will. Endocrinologists, radiologists, 2 endocrinologists, I think. Yeah. And 2 GPs, PCPs, whatever you want to call them where you live. And I don't know how many other have said, I have this adrenal disorder. There's nothing they can do about it. It's too risky to operate. But the doctors will say, like I said, at this practice, they just keep saying it. And I have tried another one. And that's a whole story unto itself. And I think I've actually made that story. We'll see. That could be in that one that I said that I haven't made public yet. Sorry, but I have to give some background. Quite a bit. There's so much in this to unpack. I'm serious with that. So anyway, I was feeling a lot of anxiety before, because I knew it was going to be one of the 2 who always puts a little zinger in at the end. But as it turns out, somebody called me earlier, didn't say anything. The number that showed up, I didn't know it. Wasn't going to answer, but I did. And it turns out it was a different doctor. Okay, but calling for them. She apparently what she said was that the usual doctor he's taking a vacation right now. He's taking time off right now because of all this. Which, okay, he's around my age, and he's a Indian, actually not Native American, but an Indian, and if you listen to enough people, they talk about people that are anyway my age and all that. Yeah, so I'm thinking maybe that's the reason he's, plus the darker the skin and all this stuff. I'm not going to go into that, but you can watch Dr. John Campbell, what he says about vitamin D. He's an actual doctor, or whatever he is. But watch his channel. I can't say anything more about it because I'm not a healthcare professional. But so that doctor is probably doing it because of that reason. Well, the one that called me was a very young doctor. I could hear it in her voice, she was very young. And but we had a really good talk. I mean, seriously, she looked at my chart, from the last time that I'd had my labs, which was in January, and because of all this. And I told her what the nurse had said the last time, and she says, well, I'm going to say I disagree with what she said. And then she goes, like I said, we had this long talk about different things, and they didn't want to put me on insulin because I'm allergic to that other medication. Any of in that family, even they've tried me on 2 allergic. The pharmacist said you're probably allergic to this certain thing, and that was in the 3rd one too. And there's nothing else they can put me on, so it would have to be insulin. Yeah. Okay. Like, I want to inject myself with something as sensitive as I am. Seriously, it does worry me. Okay, so like I said, really good conversation. She told me things about diabetes that I never heard before. Some I had. I'm not going to give details because some people might think that that's what it is. And no, this is my doctor, not yours. Talk to your own doctor. And some people won't do that. They'll just do whatever they think somebody else is doing, and as if it's going to be good for them. And one size doesn't fit all in all this. That's one thing I certainly learned with an adrenal disorder. Definitely. What works for me might not work for other people at all. What works for other people doesn't work for me at all, in some of them. So anyway, one of the things I will say is that she suggested that I go for more walks again. And, I mean, I used to, but see, right behind that shiny, well, you're not going to be shiny, I'll probably I don't know if I'll put something over it or not, but behind that, I think that's their trash, I don't know, that shiny wall, doors or whatever. I was walking around there. I used to love to walk out here, I really did, but right behind it, I was standing there one day, and I was taking a video, and then I had the video on Premiere, and a couple of people who were chatting in it, something just hit the roof of my SUV. But a couple of people that were chatting in it heard the noise and said, in the video I said, that's a really loud cricket. A couple of people in the chat said, oh, that's actually a rattlesnake. Yeah, when I listened to it, that's what I heard too. Yeah, but when I was standing there, I just thought it was a really loud cricket. It was up against the wall. This is a nature preserve. And I had called and told them about it, and they said that, yeah, the one that answered, she was around my age, she said that because of it was cold then, it was real cold, that they stay up against the wall for warmth. So I'm going to have to walk out here still, because that's why I was coming out here to check to see, how busy it would be if people were wearing their mask. And so far, what I've seen, nobody is wearing a mask. That's not good. But it is outdoors, and I mean, that's no excuse. You hear people talk about it just because you're outdoors, so what? It depends on how close people are. Like I said, I'm not a healthcare professional. I'm not going to go down that route, and say something, somebody takes it that way. No. To me, it's, yeah. Not going to chance it on anything. So I'm waiting for a guy to go by with his little teeny tiny boy, but the little boy went running the other ways. Man, for such a little tiny tyke, he has gotten away, far away from his daddy. But I don't want to, to have the kid in my video. Anyway. So one of the things she said, that's what I'm saying, is she told me to, go do this kind of exercise. And I need a place where I can walk around. But because of the rattlesnake issue that I found, ran across, I don't want to walk on the sidewalk. Which also made me think, I don't want to walk on the sidewalk at home either. Now, I had fallen on the sidewalk at home. Next month will be 3 years when I fell on one of the sidewalk and busted both of my knees really bad. And then just this year, in February, I fell and busted, February 9th, fell and busted again my left knee. So, I want to be somewhere where the pavement is kind of smooth and I'm not going to have to risk my life, or my knees, from walking and doing exercise. I don't know where that guy went. And I want some people to be around, but not too many. And I'm going to be wearing my mask, walking around, and it's going to be cool. Like I said, right now it's 4:55 p.m. and it is still 95 degrees, and I'm sitting under the shade. I'm sitting under a shade tree. Seriously. So in the mornings it would be, I checked, in the higher 70s and lower 80s. Now during the summertime, when we get our temperatures get over 100 or even over 110, all night long it's about 90 degrees in the 90s. And then I think one little hour or so in the morning it'll get in the 80s. But yeah, so it just depends really. So I think I will be able to walk out here, but I won't be walking on the sidewalks. I'll be walking in the road, you see the driveways. What do you call those, when you're at a place like this? The drive? I don't know. Driveway? I'm going to put it that way. Yeah, I've done it before. And because those rattlesnakes, on the concrete, I can see a rattlesnake if there's one. But if it's in the grass, no. Like I said, not happening. Okay, I should get back home. I told Adam, if I'm not back in 30 minutes, worry about me. Oh, I also, it's been so, I've not driven all that much in all these months. I was like, I'm going to need to take another driving class. But no, of course not. As long as I have. I've heard other people say that, but as long as I've been driving, no. 40-something years. Yeah. But I wanted to check it out and see, would this be a good place, where I wouldn't have to walk on the on the sidewalk or on the grass, any of that. So I guess it will be. Like I said, I've done it before. I should know, but I just want to see, because it's different now because of the coronavirus, how many people would be out there. Back then it was pretty busy. See all those blue bonnets? Yeah, they're kind of dry. A lot of blue bonnets, so and get that done. But what was weird was the amount of time she was saying for me to walk, and I'm thinking, I don't think I can. Seriously, after not having driven in so long, and not driven, done walking, because I'm not even going to stores. I'm having stuff delivered. I do a lot of walking in the house. I forgot my SUV does that. I have to turn this little button, or it'll click it over to some gas saving thing, and it goes bump bump when I stop. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to have to learn how to drive again, at least this car. SUV. I have 2,795 miles on my new SUV, a year old. That's all. I really didn't get to drive it around that much. And for so much going on and everything since I bought it. But, and now will I ever? But anyway, so I'm going to be going down there. I'll probably do some videos from there. Right now, with what else is going on, people aren't watching videos. So, okay, my alarm went off. Yeah, people aren't watching videos. I noticed that, maybe a couple of people will watch, just a handful, or a couple handfuls maybe. People will watch my videos, and it's like, wow. But my channels, I didn't pay enough attention to for a long time. I used to do shopping videos. That's what I started off doing. And that would get a lot of videos. Those would get a lot. But I'm not doing the shopping thing. So I do have 3 or 4 videos on this channel, if I put it on the right channel, of shopping videos that I had uploaded way back then and never made public. Uh-oh. Hey. Alright, so how long does it take for me to be driving in the, after moving from shade for the battery, for the camera to get hot? You saw it when I said, uh-oh, that's what it was. And it cut off right before this clip. Yeah. I'm not new to this. I've been making videos while driving for 5 or so years. And usually that's how all my videos were. I try to do them on camera, but it's just so much trouble. And with me on camera, I did 2 earlier today. I just did the first clip with me on camera because I was going to be reading something, and I didn't have my readers with me. I said I had my regular glasses, and pulling them down to read, it's just So I did the first clip with me on camera, then the rest of them like this, but it wouldn't upload. I tried the first one twice, wouldn't upload. So I had to make, intros basically to the other 2 videos. So it's going to have to be one or the other. And with my dog Marmaduke inside, and his panting, that he's at the end of his life, and the vet knows, we've let the vet know, and she had given us a certain pill to give him, and he's running out, and it's just for pain, and he's getting bad, so we have just a few left, and we're going to have to get more. But he sits there in that same room where I do videos and pants a lot, really hard. And like I said, he's at the end of his life, so Marmaduke. But anyway, I'm rambled in this one, and I will ramble in probably all of them. That's how I do my videos, and probably that could be the reason nobody's watching my video. But yeah. Anyway, I'm going to be doing videos like that. I told Adam, I asked him if he'd go with me, so in case I fail, somebody he would be there. And he needs to exercise too. He said, sure. I said, well, what time do you want to start going? And because she has actually suggested twice a day, morning and night. It's still too hot at night here in Texas. I wonder if she's from Texas, but this new one. But anyway, so he was saying in the morning around 6, and I started laughing. He doesn't get up until 7 or 8. I can't imagine him getting up to go, or me getting him up to go. But I'm going to try, I wake up, this morning I woke up like 4 or something. I've been doing that lately, and going to bed like midnight or 1. Then I take little naps today. I didn't have one, can you tell? But anyway, let's see what happens tomorrow. But that's what I need to start doing. And we'll see. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow, maybe. We'll see. Talk to y'all in another video at least, maybe.